Hey, good morning. Well, there's about to be a press conference that's starting any minute now, and this press conference is all about gun violence prevention. And we have State Representative Vicki Goodwin here with us. She is one of the supporters for gun violence prevention in the state of Texas, and you've co-authored several bills that you're hoping gets pushed through the legislature this year, correct?
Yes, that's correct. I have written a couple myself and joint authored one and co-authored several others. The one that's most important to me that I think has some momentum this time around is safe storage, just a public awareness campaign around storing your gun safely in a gun safe.
And we were talking a little bit off camera, and this topic hits close to home for you. Personally, you have a story on how safe storage or the fact that it wasn't safely stored affected you and your family.
That's correct. My dad was actually shot and killed in our home in 1990. There was a burglary attempt at our home, and at the time we had a gun kept in a closet that we just hadn't really thought about. The burglars came across the gun, came across my dad, and shot and killed him. If we had had that gun in a gun safe, he might still be here today. And there's just so many incidents where kids have gotten hold of guns that were left in their homes and hurt or killed, a family member, a friend. So to me, it's just so important to have that public awareness around safe storage.
And some may say that gun violence in the state of Texas and across the country is increasing, because I know for Texas, we've had the Sutherland Springs mass shooting, 26 people killed, and then last year we had that terrible shooting at Santa Fe High School. So how important is it for lawmakers to understand that the state of Texas needs something to change?
I think it's very important, but we still get pushback, which I just don't understand. We're not trying to take away guns from people, but we are trying to make our community safer in a number of different ways by the Safe Storage campaign, by making sure we close the loopholes on getting guns in the first place, and on banning bump stocks, for example. Just a lot of different ways that we can increase safety in our communities.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you coming on air with us and sharing your story and what you guys are fighting for today. Again, a press conference all aimed at gun violence prevention is set to start any minute, and we will carry part of that live on Good Day Austin. Back to you guys in the studio. Hey, good morning, guys. The press conference wrapped up a few minutes ago. Now, there were 8 people who spoke during that conference. That includes state representatives on both sides of the aisle and members of Texas Gun Sense. Their main message is to make Texas safer, and they believe that will be possible with better gun laws. According to their recent numbers, back in 2017, more than 3,500 people died in Texas because of guns, and 352 of those were children and teens under the age of 19. Recently, there have been 2 terrible mass shootings in Texas. One was at a church in Sutherland Springs, another at Santa Fe High School on May 18th of last year. Despite the gun violence here in Texas and across the country, supporters of gun violence prevention believe unsafe gun bills are making some headway. For example, constitutional carry will be heard during the legislative session in the next couple of weeks, and other bills are calling for more guns in schools, like arming teachers. So today, Texas officials are joining with Texas Gun Sense, which is a statewide nonprofit, nonpartisan organization advocating for common sense and evidence-based policies to reduce gun injuries and deaths. Many say gun violence is preventable, and there are policies proven to work, policies Texas lawmakers need to consider. Texas Gun Sense says there are a total of 183 bills that have been filed during this legislative session. All of those bills are related to firearms. Now back to you in the studio. Yeah, Amanda, there was a press conference that wrapped up roughly 30 minutes ago, but state representatives on both sides of the aisle, as well as members of Texas Gun Sense, spoke during that press conference, and they believe there's only one way to make Texas safer, and that's to have better gun laws. According to recent numbers, they say back in 2017, there were more than 3,500 gun deaths in Texas. 352 of those were children and teens under the age of 19. Recently, there have been 2 terrible mass shootings in Texas. First, there was the one at the church in Sutherland Springs where 26 people were killed, and another at Santa Fe High School on May 18th of last year. Despite the gun violence in Texas and across the country, supporters of gun violence prevention believe unsafe gun bills are making some headway during this legislative session. Today, elected officials are joining Texas Gun Sense, which is a statewide nonprofit and nonpartisan organization advocating for common sense and evidence-based policies to reduce gun deaths and injuries. Many say gun violence is preventable, and there are policies proven to work, policies Texas lawmakers need to consider. Texas Gun Sense says that there are a total of 183 bills that have been filed during session, all related to firearms, and they're just hoping, they're saying optimistic that something will come out of this session, laws that will, make Texas much safer.